Hello, professionals. Yes, today is Friday, and this is the second video for me. However, I do want to wrap it up for you guys this week. As we are closing out Module 1, just wanted to do a quick wrap up regarding the assessments and assignments for Module 1 so that everyone is on the same page and there's no confusion and things like that, all right? So I wanted to do that so you guys can have like a great weekend so that I can as well and there's no confusion. All right, so let's go to Module 1. So as listed in the live lecture, the course is pretty set up, I guess the same for every module. Excuse me. You guys will have deliverables. You will have the live lecture component, and then you will have an assessment. Okay. So starting with the course project assignment, just going to click on that, and let's go to deliverable number 1, using technology in healthcare. All right, so to me, the assignment is pretty straightforward, but I do want to just kind of maybe further go into detail with you guys. All right, so a scenario has been, created for you all. And before I even go into that, please note that the rubrics are listed here. And I would say a best practice is for you guys to review the rubrics first, just to see, what is expected of you. If you're aiming for, the highest, and I want to say letter, but we don't do letter grades, but if you're aiming for the highest numerical, number, and then, that's where you want to review your rubric and just to see what it is that you have to do to obtain that. So let me just click on the rubric. Everything's a little bit slow today. Oh darn, what's this message? Okay, looks like something is slowing my computer down. I'm gonna click out of this and come back. Let's see if that will help. And it's not. Let's try this. Something, so let me just click off of this stuff. Something is slowing my computer down. All right, so I'm going to click back into the course project assignment. Okay, we were talking about deliverable 1. Okay, I'm not going to click on the rubric just of yet. Let me just go through the assignment first, and then hopefully my computer kind of catches up with everything. All right. Okay, so the competency here assesses the use of technology within healthcare. I would say one of my best practice to offer you guys too, before even doing this, start with reading your weekly assignments or your weekly reading material so that it can help generate, and start get those wheels spinning about, different concepts, different terminology, so that your assessments and deliverables will begin to make sense. So if I were you guys, I would start with the reading material first, then go to the deliverables and assessments that need to be completed, for the module. All right. So I'm not going to go through all of this, but like I said before, there is a scenario that is created, for you guys. So I want you guys to read this thoroughly. And I'll just read a little snippet of it. So this is the Live Well Hospital, which is a 500-bed critical access hospital that schedules between 22,000 and 26,000 visits a year. Live Well provides surgical, medical, and acute care, 24-hour emergency room services, outpatient services, health education, behavioral services, in-home and hospice care, and employs about 2,200 people, including 275 physicians. All right. So now it kind of just laid out, the picture for you guys of what type of facility, that you should kind of put yourself in the mind frame of. And it wants you to picture yourself as a HIM director of the Live Well facility or hospital. Okay. Looks like the board of directors has made a priority for the hospital to enter the 21st century by converting its operations to an EHR. All right. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard a lot about this and maybe currently working in these type of facilities already. So remember, excuse me, when completing these assessments, think about your real life situations. I know that some of you guys are currently working, in the HI industry. So use those experiences, especially if you've been on the EHR project or just been, been a part of it or whatever. Put yourself in those positions, bring those real life experiences to your courses, which will help you guys to be so successful in your assessments. Okay. You have been assigned to oversee the project. You are therefore responsible for ensuring that the needs of the hospital have been carefully assessed and that the planning process for bringing an EHR system online is effective. All right. So here's your instructions listed below. So to prepare the report, complete the following tasks. So make sure that you guys, again, are following the directions so that everything that you submit aligns with, what the rubric has, listed. All right. So for number one, compile a table for the Live Well department / functions that includes the types of the data needed, urgency of the data needed, okay, and storage needs. So when I am reviewing your assessments or your deliverables, I am looking for, what the instructions have laid out for you guys and making sure that you've covered all of the required, material for these assignments, okay? Number two, Live Well department functions. So you want to have this listed as well. The administrative functions, human resources, radiology, lab, pharmacy, nursing. Number three, evaluate the data needs for the organization and write a summary of the data needs for the organization. So don't forget that part as well. Include in the summary the management of the needed use and access and the storage requirements to maintain sufficient data to support the patient's care. Include a breakdown of the requirements related to gathering, capturing, structuring, storing, protecting, and retrieving data. Number four, determine what regulations, standards, and laws that the EHR must comply with and repercussions of non-compliance. And number five, justify the importance of including patient engagement technologies within the EHR system, such as telemedicine and patient portals. And again, I would just advise you guys to, even if you don't work in the healthcare environment, think about what's currently going on to this very day, with the pandemic and how things have totally changed the world. There's a lot of telemedicine going on now. We did a lot of video patient visits, that type of thing. So really just think about what you have, witnessed or been a part of. Things that you may have been a part of on your actual job and things like that. So you want to pour that into your assignment as well. Make it realistic for you if you can, if you've been a part of those various situations, okay? So yes, with this particular assessment, you guys have 3 attempts. I'm pretty sure you guys know about this, especially if you've taken a CBE course before, but if you have not, Most of the assessments, to my understanding, you guys get 3 attempts. Okay, so we'll complete it, submit it back to me. I'll grade it. Just say you got, and please forgive me if I'm not saying this correctly, but maybe you got like a number 2 out of 4. 4 is supposed to be the highest, as far as like points. So if you want to do better, then of course you'll read my feedback and then, redo it, submit it again. Then I'll go over it, grade it again. And then there's your, grade. If that's not good enough for you, again, you have 3 attempts to try to get the highest grade possible. Okay. So I'm going to click on the rubric. Hopefully it comes up this time. If not, though, you guys can click on it at your own, leisure and check out the rubric just to see. Again, it'll be a best practice for you guys to see. There it is. What you need to do to, obtain those highest, grades. Okay. So, of course, the rubric is broken up into mastery, proficiency, competence, no pass, not submitted. Okay. Just scroll down a little bit. So, of course, under mastery, you have, the explanation of, what that means or what it should be. So this is the first criterion. So it looks like we have about 5. Yep, 5 of them. Okay. So if you're trying to aim at the mastery level on all 5 levels, you want to make sure that all of this you guys have taken care of, starting from the bottom, like no spelling errors, the grammar is on point, punctuation errors are, not listed. Going up to criterion number 4, the report contains a thorough and detailed justification for the importance of including patient engagement technologies within the EHR system. Going up to criteria number 3, the report contains a thorough and detailed determination of the regulations, standards, and laws. So everything, again, what the instructions have listed, make sure that you guys are covering that in your deliverables, okay? So that you're not skipping out on anything that prior to submitting, just make sure that, you've covered what was listed in the instructions. The report contains a summary that provides a thorough and detailed evaluation of the data needs of the organization. And the first criterion is the report contains a table that includes a thorough and detailed explanation of the needs of the department/function. So again, just everything that was outlined in those directions, this is what is going to be present in your rubric, okay? And so, of course, it just goes kind of down, it lets you know what happens at a B level or 3 points, proficiency. So maybe you did tap into majority of what was, required, but maybe something was missing or maybe further detail needed, so forth and so on. So again, it just goes with the competence, no pass, and then of course, not submitted. Okay. So yes, please review the rubric prior to even completing the assignment so that you are fully aware of, what's expected for you and that if you're trying to aim at the mastery level, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to have prior to my submission of my assignment. Okay. All right. So that is what the deliverable, which I think is pretty straightforward, Again, the scenario is provided, and basically you're just going to have all of this information listed for me. Don't forget the table. Don't forget the summaries where it said, a little short summary should be submitted, and just have all of the functions and details that are listed here, okay? Of course, too, with the resources for assisting with writing a report, please visit Rasmussen, it should say universities, tips for writing a professional report. Okay, so you can just click on here, and don't be afraid to reach out to me if you guys, need help with like writing and things like that. I'm not going to, of course, write it for you, but I can definitely point you in the right direction if you need like some tutoring and things like that. And I may just post that in a course too. I know that some students get offended by it, but please, by all means, do not. It's not